Pledge of self-preservation. I pledge allegiance to myself and dedicate my life to growing up strong. I realize that this journey may have ups and downs, but I will not fall short of my destiny. I have the courage to speak up, the strength to stand tall, and the ability to seek happiness for my life. I pledge to be authentic in my pursuits and preserve my well being, bringing light to others around me. I pledge to take care of myself by any means necessary. That is the pledge of self preservation that I wrote a couple years ago, and I share it in my newsletter occasionally because I really want it to be a reminder to people that really uh, prioritizing self care is a thing that you have to have courage to do. Why? Because it adds another layer of happiness to your life. And a couple of friends of mine have always told me that I've encouraged them, but I really feel like this motivation to prioritize self care should come from within. So I wrote that pledge kind of to myself as a reminder, and then I thought maybe I'll share it with y'all today. And so I'm happy that you're joining me, and I just wanted to read that, and hopefully it can encourage somebody. So again, I'll share that later on for you all to read on your own or print it off. And if you're on my newsletter, you'll know that I share that frequently. So I am just really excited right now. I'm going to spend a few minutes talking to y'all about how to prioritize self care, make room for it, I should say. And I've just been getting a lot of downloads and feedback from people when I do these like workshops or even when I'm just sending notes to people here and there. And mostly people keep saying, "Oh, I don't have time." And I brought that up in my last live Facebook video. And even though that wasn't the top reason, the timing issue was to me the first thing that came to mind when I think about putting it into practice, building a habit of self care. So that's why I said, okay, let's do this 21 days of self care. And if you didn't get a chance to follow that, I did it all through October, the 1st through the 21st, on my Instagram page and my Facebook page. So you can scroll down and see that for yourself, a video a day for 21 days, um, less than a minute. And I feel like that helped me a year ago. I think it was a year ago the first time I did it in April. That helped me really understand how much effort you have to put into developing a practice in general, whether it's working out or making sure you're feeding your mind, making sure you have some spiritual time every day. All of those are really good habits that you want to try to incorporate into your own self-care regimen. So I was like, okay, this 21-day challenge, maybe I can help other people do the same thing. And of course, it's going to take more than 21 days. Anyway, off that tangent. After I did the 21-day challenge, I thought, well, yeah, you may not have time to watch the video every day, but maybe you might figure out some time to. I'm scared about these mosquitoes, y'all. I don't want them to get me. But if you don't have time to watch the video, and even if you go back and see what I prompted you to do, you still have to make time to do those tasks that I encourage you to do. So I hope this video is not too loud, or this music. Let me turn it down real quick. I just want y'all to feel the vibe that I'm feeling right now. Anyway, so how can we then go ahead and prioritize self-care? So I have a few suggestions on that today, but I also want to get some feedback from y'all. If there's some questions that are posted later, I want to be able to answer those. And again, I look forward to doing this monthly now. So if you're missing this live or you didn't get a chance to tune in today, don't worry. We'll do it again. So a few of the things that, few of the ways I should say to prioritize self care is first is to get it in your mind. That means meditate on the idea of believing that you need it and that you deserve it. The one way I got it in my mind was through meditation and gratitude. Like those two things reminded me every day that I do deserve to have the life that I want. And the gratitude obviously helps me get there because, hey, if you're grateful for what you have now, you can appreciate what comes later. And so I was able to position myself to receive the blessings of free time. That was one thing I really wanted in my life a couple years ago. It's like I want more free time to explore, to be grateful, to be creative, because all of those things equal self-care for me. So as you get into this practice, you'll learn more about, what self-care means for you and what's important for you to manifest in your life. So I got through the meditation and the gratitude, and that I also did some journaling, and that practice really helped me build up the habit of thinking deeper about what I can do with my practice. And so after that, I've done a few 21-day challenges with other people. And I was like, okay, let me do one for self-care. There's a lot of other, 30 days, 21 days, however long you think you need to be committed and consistent. But the first tool after that was scheduling it. I feel like some of y'all knew I was going to say that. But scheduling self-care. Every morning, some type of morning routine, some type of evening routine. Even if it's just like when you eat lunch every day, making sure you have some time to yourself. That is that scheduling aspect of it. Can't nobody really mess with it if it's important to you. For example, how many of y'all schedule every other thing that's important to you? You schedule your hair appointments, nail appointments. You schedule when you're going to play basketball or work out. You schedule when you're going to spend time with the boo, the bae. You schedule when you're going to go out to eat, try them new waffles at that new place. I know y'all schedule all these things. All these things y'all be scheduling, okay? Whether you put it down in a planner, you put it on your phone, you email it to yourself, you text message somebody, be like, hey, let's go here. You still plan it to some extent. There's only a couple people in the world, personalities, I should say, that really just go with the wind. But even they find themselves discombobulated if they don't schedule stuff. So anyway, scheduling was the number one tool for me after I got it in my mind and say self-care is something that I need to build a habit of. Um, so I just wanted to put that little nugget out there real quick. I know it took me 8 minutes to explain that, but I just don't want y'all to take that lightly. And it might just be my personality. I like to organize. I like to plan. But I'm not saying that you need to be so systematic about scheduling self-care. Don't stress yourself. Self-care equals zero stress. Okay, so don't stress yourself about making room for self-care. It should not feel that way. So that's out the way. Now that I said that. And so I'm gonna pause there for a second and think out loud with you all about the self-care thing. One of the lines in this pledge that I created, it says, "I have the courage to speak up, the strength to stand tall, and the ability to seek happiness for my life." To me, that means you are responsible. You are accountable for making time for self-care. I shouldn't really even be doing these videos to remind y'all to prioritize self-care. Because really it's your responsibility. You're put on this earth to be responsible for your duties, what you do, what you manifest, what you leave behind, right? So why else would you neglect your self-care in order for you to be able to do those things? or let me just say, why would you neglect your self-care so that you can be able to do those things? It don't make sense. And I'm not trying to preach to y'all. Oh, that's my jam right there, Little Dragon. I'm not trying to preach to y'all. I'm trying to really emphasize the importance of taking care of yourself, because I know some of y'all don't have to tell me none of these things. Y'all don't have to tell nobody, but we all come across mental health issues, emotional issues, physical well-being issues. Like, we're human, so those things are going to come along. Relationship issues, those things are going to come. So just expect that, number one. And then think about how you bounce back. Like, how do you become resilient in those situations? And the answer is self-care, y'all. The answer is self-care. Resiliency you can reach by prioritizing the things that are important to you. And then that way, when you wake up every day, you're seeking those things, those experiences that make you happy. Is that making sense, y'all? So I just want to shout out a few people that, said that they, really appreciate the work that I'm doing with the self-care. I think all in 1 week, this week, somebody sent me a text message saying they appreciate me encouraging them. Somebody tagged me, a couple people tagged me on Facebook, saying, um, I've helped them encourage them to do this more. And I heard a lot of key words in there. One lady said, I encourage her to be brave. And of course, y'all know I'm feeling all of them. I'm just like, feel some type of love. But those key words, bravery, courage, and even accountability, those are the common themes I'm hearing about manifesting self-care in people's lives. And I'm excited about the feedback, but I'm even more excited about the action. It's like, you can't prove this to me. Well, let me say this. The only way you can prove it to me that this is working for you is if you are happy and doing things that you love, and because you are prioritizing self-care, the drama that comes in your life just rolls off, People keep telling me, oh yeah, Joe, you're so cool, you're so chill. Yeah, because I don't want no drama in my life. I don't care for um the excessive baggage. I sometimes do hold grudges, I'll be honest about that. But I don't want other people's baggage along with that. You know what I'm saying? So the self-care helps me um continue to be resilient and help share my experiences with other people so that maybe they can learn from them. IE is called being a light, but you can't be a light to other people if your light is dim. And so anyway, I don't want to start preaching on. So those are some of the testimonies I got this week, and it really did fill my heart. And I believe that everybody that's listening today has an opportunity every day to prioritize self-care. It only takes 10 minutes, which for me is a meditation, or following up on a project that's really important to me. Not neglecting things. It really means not neglecting. What are you neglecting right now? What y'all neglecting? Earlier this week for me, I was neglecting my physical well-being so much that I caught me a little cold, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to do this video today. It was coming close. I was neglecting a little bit of mental care too. I do see a therapist a couple times a month, but in addition to that, I like to do more journaling and I like to do more reflection, and I just wasn't able to do that last week. So instead of feeling guilty for myself, I was just like, start over. So, the next morning I said, okay, I'm going to meditate today. I'm going to just start there. And then the next day I was like, okay, I'm going to cook me something that warms my throat and my heart and my mind, because I was, struggling with a cold. So, I cook something. And then the next day, I said, what can I do? I can journal. Journal. Took me a little bath. Just really try to like chill. Because your body will speak to you first of all. The first thing that will speak to you when you ain't prioritizing self-care is your body. Now, raise your hand if you know this is true for you. Okay. After your body, I think your mind goes next. You just kind of going crazy, like you just don't know which way you're going. You feel frustrated all the time. Everybody gets on your nerves, and they ain't do nothing. um, those might be signs of other things, but usually it's stress, is what essentially it is. Your body tells you first, then your mind, then your relationships will tell you or tell on you. If you got some real people in your life, the relationships will tell on you. So anyway, um, yeah, I feel like those are the signs that you need to pay attention to. And I hope this is helping somebody. My personality is not normally to ramble like this, and I prefer to write. But I just feel like these videos are, of course, helping me. But I feel like sometimes we need to find different ways to communicate with each other and get the message drilled in. And so I'm doing these videos to, help out. I'm challenging myself too, because I would, me, I'm chilling most of the time. But long story short, that was what I wanted to share with y'all. Before I wrap up, the last line, was it the last line I wanted to talk about? Oh no, I realize that this journey may have ups and downs. That's something I said in the pledge. And then at the bottom, I say, I pledge to be authentic in my pursuits and preserve my well-being. Essentially, that means it's a process, right? It's a journey of preservation. And knowing that it's a process really means you cannot become an expert at anything overnight. I hope y'all know that. And even with self-care, it takes time to build that practice. And I always tell people, I'm not doing talks and writing newsletters and doing challenges because I'm an expert. I've figured it out. I have not figured out life, y'all. That's the enjoyment of it, though, is the exploration of life to me. So anyway, yeah, it's a process, and so I want to encourage y'all to consider how to prioritize self-care and realize that it's a process, and realize that there's going to be moments of enjoyment, but there are also going to be moments of frustration. And you gotta like move through those scenarios. Don't be so stiff. I got to be the best version of me. I'm living my best life. Be the best version of me at all times. Like, I don't know who really do that except like maybe a Buddhist priest or somebody, but they human too. So hey, I guess I beg to differ. So anyway, I really hope that this is helping somebody, and I want to get some feedback from y'all. And I really want to do this live again um, sooner. And so I apologize that it's not live today, but there's a special event tonight that I ended up wanting to go to. And Thursdays are also now my scheduled self-care days. So that means I'm going to prioritize it. So I'm really excited about having that time tonight. And I think that it's important for other people to respect that. And I know y'all not tripping on my schedule. Y'all don't know my life. But I'm encouraging y'all to do the same thing because you need a day at least per week. If you have any actual priorities in life and any responsibilities and anything that takes up your time, you're gonna get busy. And in that notion, you're gonna need some self-care time too. So, Thursdays are my day. I know another friend, she has thaw out Thursdays, wind down Wednesdays, whatever phrase you need to like live it up or chill out. um, so that's what I'm doing tonight. I'll share with y'all later if I feel like it. let me talk about that real quick. Y'all don't have to share every little thing that y'all doing on social media. Just live in the moment. Cherish the moment. Be present. If you're doing self care, guess what? I don't need to know. Yourself needs to know, and that's it. If you're building that habit, if you live in life, people gonna notice. People gonna know that you glowing. So anyway, I just had to throw that little nugget out there. Okay. I hope I'm sharing some helpful tools for y'all. Another thing I wanted to share is just a couple plugs. Obviously, got to plug. Um, some local plugs and ways that I've been practicing self care lately are I've been paying attention to my feet and knowing that we walk on them so much and how, or at least I walk on them. Um, Sometimes the feet can be resemblant of how well you're taking care of yourself. So my feet was looking rough, y'all. Not even just walking on them, but the aspect of how you're leaded. You make decisions kind of in the physical realm, so to speak, by taking a step. And I just want my feet to be like strong. Anyway, I got me a couple detoxes, long story short, and a pedicure. And so anyway, I want to shout out a couple places or a couple ideas. Get you some foot care, get you a little kind of tub, soak your feet in it. This is the cheap free way, okay? But I would suggest going to somebody else to do this for you. Fill the tub up with hot water. Throw some baking soda in there, like a tablespoon maybe. Throw some Epsom salt in there, a little bit. If you have Himalayan salt, even better. Throw some apple cider vinegar in there, and then throw something in there that smells good. Light a candle, read a book, listen to music, meditate. Get your feet in there and just be still. Don't do it in front of no TV. I also would suggest do not scroll on social media while you're doing this. And just try it. That's all I can say. Just try it, y'all. I also did a foot detox at Internally Beautiful. Shout out to Chanel. I hope that I'm sorry for the fellas. Um, she is women identified only at this place. So anyway, Chanel has a studio, a spa studio, and so that's where I indulge in the foot detox. I'll link her info later. So that's one plug. Okay, Google foot detoxes, YouTube them. Try it, try it, try it. Another plug is I'll be providing a workbook to a female entrepreneurship event hosted by Erica Johnson, ABE Films, and that will be held December 15th. Thank you, Erica, for holding me accountable, manifesting a project. So anyway, if you're interested in getting the workbook, let me know. Okay, I'll give you the link privately. But also, she's doing a wonderful event for female entrepreneurs, December 15th. I'll link that event. And last but not least, I am doing a monthly self-care newsletter. As always, you are encouraged to, if you like to read instead of listening to my videos, um, I like to write more. And that's really just a journey that I'm sharing with y'all and sharing tools, resources, encouragement, words of wisdom on kind of three areas. One is self-care, the other is productivity and creativity. So again, the newsletter link I will share as well. And I send that out monthly, sometimes twice a month, but usually just once a month, on a Thursday or Sunday. My allergies mess with me. It's nice out, but it's still a little nippy. So anyway, the newsletter is also an option. But all right, y'all. I hope that, excuse me, let me be honest. I hope that this is helpful for y'all, and I'm looking forward to doing the next one. If y'all have some requests on topics, please share them. We'll focus on those, and we'll make sure that we are living this self-care practice together. We also need each other to make these things a priority. So that's my time. Love y'all. Peace. Stay encouraged.